They must well change swearing from May 29 to April. How can you elect people, change of government, January, February, March, April, May? I do.
Before being sworn in?
I do. In limbo. Everything is just bursting in the seams. If it's like you have an old cloth, you patch it here now, it will tear here. You patch it here, it will tear here. We now have 33 governors who are in one basket. All they need to do is to devote 2, 3, or 4 months FAC allocation to buy whoever is ready to be bought. You can't beat that. Any money where it comes in from the devil, he will take it. Voting, if you vote, collect 20,000, not 5,000 again. If you vote, collect 50,000. That's what's going to happen. Might will be right. Whoever has might will win.
Our guest today is Dr. Akin Fapounda, retired federal civil servant and a leading socio-political activist and also a public affairs analyst. The FCT minister, Barrister Nyesom Wike, had a media chat, and then he boasted, more or less, that Nigerians still love him, and that if he ever decides to go to contest for the presidency, he would win. So the question, Doctor, is that does this imply a future contest for the presidency perhaps after President Tinubu? What do you think?
The man he has some good parts, but he's still hallucinating over how he maneuvered River State. I used all the money there to buy his way. It will not continue like that. There's better life beyond somebody just functioning as an emperor over River State. If he could do that in Rivers, well, anything is possible in Nigeria anyway, I guess. Anything is possible. You don't doubt him because Nigeria, if you say good morning, you have to check whether it is good night. But it doesn't mean we who are citizens, who are not enslaved, we have right to decide whether is somebody worthy and honorable to be a leader. He could snatch, he could do anything to get there. Will he have legitimacy? I doubt it.
In that same interview, okay, but the question I asked you is that, give us a forecast. Assuming Wike wants to contest for presidency in 2031, if President Bola Tinubu is re-elected, what do you think? What do you assess the mood of Nigerians?
Who knows Wike? Wike is only known to himself. In an open ballot, you see the way he just declared curfew in FCT to just that method, yes, but in a good system where we are all citizens are not conquered, Wike has no mouth to talk. If we are fair in a just society, Wike will have to take very back seat. But in the way we are today, he could be anointed by a godfather in whatever way, and he could maneuver his way. Anything is possible. It doesn't mean it's right, though. He has no chance in a good system. But we have a bad system in place now, so anything is possible.
In that same interview, he answered a number of questions, and then some of them centered around the recently concluded FCT Council polls. What's your general take on the FCT Council polls, where the APC won 5 councils, and then PDP won, I think, Goglada. So what's your general opinion?
It's just a sign that we're defeated people. Because if you have only 15% to decide, is that a pass mark? If people in a citizen, you need to have at least 51% people coming out. So the votes now, maybe you got 4-5% of residents. The chairman are now sitting on top of allocation now. In Kuje, where I have interest, the chairman now will be collecting 200 million every month now, based on how many people that voted. It's not legitimate. The fact that we have 10-12% people of FCT coming out means we don't, even you have 90% say we don't care what you are doing. We are all just sit down, look. We are just watching. It's not legitimate, in my own opinion. In fact, electoral system should be that you must have 60% turnout so that you have the will of the people. We don't have the will of the people now. It's only party members only, because they know they're going to get allocation, they're going to get patronage. Only they will come out to vote. General citizens have no mouth to talk. We are just, as I said, we are just sitting and watching. But time will come when it will not be like that again.
Doctor, I want you to comment on the fact that, number one, a curfew was slammed on movements in the FCT a day before, as in from 8 p.m. the Friday before the 21st, that's 20th against 24th. So on the curfew, how right was that? Second, the resident electoral commissioner who supervised this election in the FCT was the same controversial reg who supervised the highly contentious Edo governorship elections. And who is, I mean, if it was only that, it could be argued either way, but he's a relative of the FCT minister. Why did INEC bring that fellow to Abuja to do that election?
My comment is overwhelmingly complete. We are in a different world where we do things. Okay, I couldn't vote in the election. Not because I didn't want to, but since the last time I've moved house to where I am now. So since there's curfew, the sea of movement, I don't want to be arrested or be molested trying to go to where I was registered before. So I was disenfranchised from even voting because of the fact that I live in a different place. I'm sure it happened to many people because there's so more movement in Abuja, people changing location. So you can't find your voters area anymore. As for the nepotism of somebody being, these are just small symptoms. The bigger picture is that we are not running a civilized society. And you have it showing up in all aspects. Power and might appears to be right. And they are winning in their own eyes. But will that be a win? Will it be legitimate? I don't think so.
Since 1999, no incumbent president has won in the FCT.
Absolutely.
Except this one. And I had the FCT minister boasting that it is because they've done so fantastically well that how on earth does any of the other opposition parties, how do they think they could win? Your brief comment on this, Doctor.
Well, FCT is the symbol of Nigeria. If you don't win FCT, you cannot really claim it because all is a basket of many colors in FCT. So tribalism cannot work here because how many Yorubas are here, how many Igbos are here, how many Domas are here. So in fact, it's a referendum on your legitimacy if you actually win in FCT. Ditto Lagos, ditto Port Harcourt. It's on record that our president did not win in Lagos that time, despite all the campaign of Yoruba, Awalone, and all that. So that goes to the point I'm saying now that people have a very sensible reasoning about events. Forget about what the people at the top are doing. People on the grassroots know where the shoe pinches, and they see goodness, they will identify it. Clearly, Mr. Wike can be boasting from here to eternity. Does he command my own respect? Does he command the respect of people who are ordinarily trying to live their lives in FCT? Are we looking at the jumbo contracts he's awarding? Or we are looking at how people are affording their rent, how they are paying their children's school fees in FCT? Those are the issues burdening people. But he's floating on air like all our leaders. And they feel they're happy, but are they truly happy in their own self when they sit down on their own? Can they walk the streets without a contingent of DSS supporting them? I don't think they can.
Doctor, let's move away from that. There's been a scandal in the open, just playing out right there in the glare of the entire world, involving the Minister for Works and Housing, Engineer Dave Umahi, a certain lady, Tracy something, who alleged that she did some job for him when he was deputy governor, attempting to become, to vie for the governorship in Ebonyi State. She supplied gift items, branded gift items, and all of that. So she's claiming over 250 million naira as outstanding debt. Now, the issue is this. This lady was arrested, I think, in Lagos, and then she was, ferried to Abuja. And, the back and forth, the minister was summoned also to face this lady, and then Mr. Omoyele Sowore, civil rights activist, showed up there. Long and short, she went to court. The magistrate granted her bail, but right there, the state, apparatus was deployed to sabotage the bail granted this lady. What does this say about the deployment of state institutions to oppress ordinary citizens?
We also remember the case of Oyakilome as the head of NDLA, involved with a woman called Jennifer Madike years ago during the military regime. It's the same thing, women accusing men in high positions, and they use their positions to bludgeon and oppress. We are used to that in this country. It's so sad that in 2026 we are still back to this situation. In a very good country, it's the ground for Umahi to step down and go and clear his name. For the fact, she has not refuted the fact that there is a contact between them. No disclaimer that, oh, I never met this woman before. No disclaimer that he didn't get contract. Why will you take advantage of a woman who has given a bona fide delivery of services to you, and you're sitting pretty as a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and the police, everything is compromised? If I'm a policeman and somebody tells me to go and do, will I not say no? I'm not with Umahi has given me as AIG or whatever rank. The level of morality is so low. This is called power that be at the top. The civil service is compromised. They're able to do anything. When somebody says it's power that be, it goes to the soul of our society. As I said, all these are small symptoms of system that is decaying. Nigeria is unraveling. How many years ago, when we had Taka versus Dabo, Taka had to resign as Minister of Communications in those days. But now, we don't know what obtains in this country anymore. It's so unfortunate.
There was so much backlash from certain section of the public anyway. When the Minister for Works, Engineer Dave Umahi, was reported to have said that, if it was Senator Natasha Akpoti that was alleging sexual harassment claims against him, besides the outstanding indebtedness, that he would have maybe responded to her, taking her seriously. Insinuating that because the lady is not as good looking or as high profile as... what does this say to you about the kinds of people around or governing our country, Doctor? Sorry, sir, because last 2 weeks or so, it was about Senator Adams Oshiomhole, former governor of Edo State.
The plane.
In the plane with a South African lady massaging her foot. Now we're talking about Engineer Dave Umahi. What does this say about the character, the value system of our leaders?
All our leaders, many of them have no business being leading us. They've not even managed. If you cannot manage your life, you can't manage your family, then we entrust the society into your hands. This is the problem now. Fundamentally, the system of leadership recruitment is so faulty. We have to go back to basics. And if you are not able to, we have to be living with this sort of odium. We have to be living with this sort of public scandal. It is we who are saying it's a scandal, but they are enjoying themselves. They're having fun at our expense. And it's so disheartening. But then, the society is not moving forward with this kind of situation. We're supposed to be talking about medical challenge, about food on the table, about production, about artificial intelligence, about how people can do well. But rather, we are just beside the one scandal. Every week, there's one scandal going on all the time. If it's not killing, it is scandal in high places. Because these people haven't got any track record over the years. How did they get there? So unfortunate.
Last one on this, Doctor. There was a lot of fear. There were a lot of fears about this Cybercrime Act when it was being discussed and debated at the National Assembly. Now, many of us believe this case is a case study of why, there was stiff resistance against that Cybercrime Act. Because you said it earlier, rather than address the substantial issue of Are you owing her or not? Do you know her or not? Rather, she's being accused of cyberbullying. The police is being used, weaponized against her, and all of that. Can you speak to this briefly, Doctor?
Cyber Crimes Act is the epithet to the tenure of Egbetokun as IG. Egbetokun deployed that Cyber Crimes Act to terrorize Nigerians. He said he has resigned, he has left, but did he resign? Morally, he bastardized the police force to harass journalists. In fact, it was named as on the back book of International Press Institute. So the leaders can use anything to oppress, to do scaremongering. The state, Nigerian state, is being abused by the functionaries. And it cannot continue like this forever. And if it choose to continue forever, we are all going to be laughing stock all over the world. We pray that this regime, we are just asleep now as a country. We need to wake up. When we wake up, when we put on the light, we will see all the stinking things going on. These are the ones we know now. Many people are in detention without trial. Even for Showore that came out. We will not hear about this case. The woman has been on the case for 12 years. Thank you for internet that you are able to communicate. The mainstream media will not touch the idea. They will not. They will not. Thank God for the internet. And so I believe we have a means of fighting against the system.
Mm-hmm. You touched on it, so let's just deal with it. The IG, former IG of police, Kayode Egbetokun, did he jump or was he pushed?
If you own everything together, it doesn't start to be there. So what I make a point that his position was illegal. And there's a woman associated with him who is in charge of some postings that they have been alleging wrongdoing. The woman has been transferred out of headquarters now to NIPS. So many acts of misconduct around him. That's why he had the funding to be arresting journalists, to be charging Oluwade. The police of Lagos says Oluwade is person non grata in Lagos. Luckily, the High Court in Lagos ruled that police has no powers like that. So the reign of impunity, the reign of misconduct, what marked the tenure of Egbetokun as IG. It's a matter of time before he has to be pushed. And that gives us the confidence that all these people are doing bad now. It's a matter of time. It's a matter of time. I know time is so, because we are bothered. It could be 5 years, it could be 10 years. Truth will come out eventually. And Nigeria will be redeemed. But that is if we are restructured. The way we are now, many of us are held against our will by the ruling class because they enjoy all the booty of Nigeria. Hence, we should be restructured.
On this Egbetokun case, his son, Victor, I think, was alleged, not actually alleged because it was confirmed by the first PRO, David Ndenyi, I think. 100 million naira was transferred to the son's account from the Anambra State Security Trust Fund. But then, when the matter blew into open, they said, no, it was a mistake. But the question Nigerians have asked, and I found it very interesting, quite interesting, is that of all the accounts in this entire world that, a mistake could have happened, it had to be the son of the sitting IG of police. Now that he's gone, is that matter just going to go like that?
The matter of Beta Edu, has it not gone? Beta Edu said they were sharing money to people, humanitarian grants. Even Past President Oshibaji was donating market money. Who got it? Nobody has come out to say, I got it, seriously speaking. When you now put 100 million naira, please, whoever it is, I need that money. I need that money for myself. Can I put my account in there so that I can be favored? But it's all a joke. It's all a joke. It's just a means of reaching to the father. Since it's not been denied, it's not in the court of law, it's an allegation. The allegation appears as if some slush money was arranged and they didn't miss a digit in the account when they are transferring it. They transferred the money properly and you get an alert, say the money went to Egbetokun family. So have they not written within 1 week to say, look, we transfer money to account, so please refund it. This thing happened last year. If I send money to somebody by mistake, will I not now be asking, please, I made a mistake? 100 million naira of Enugu state taxpayers, Anambra state taxpayers' money. Is money so free that you can make mistake about 100 million in account? Is it rainwater that is just flowing over Anambra state that they could not trace, they could not feel that 100 million naira went to a wrong place? Was it budgeted for? So I leave viewers to judge.
The last one on this Egbetokun saga. Of course, a new IG, acting IG, Mr. Disu, has been appointed, sworn in acting capacity, pending the conclusion of the other processes. My question, Doctor, because thankfully, I think that decision has been stepped down, which is, he's an AIG before he was promoted acting IG. And there are 8 DIGs who are senior to him. 2 questions. What happens? What is the fate of these 8 DIGs? And then even if they stay under him as acting IG, how does this affect issue of morale, obeying him, respecting him, and all of that?
I was in federal service. The issue of quota and federal character have been with us for almost 40 years. It was championed by Jubil Amenu when he was Minister of Education. They brought quota for secondary school admissions, then federal character. All of us were superseded in service. You have PhD, you are qualified, you're on level 12. Somebody who graduated freshly will come in. He will go back to his state, they make him director.
Do you have an example of this?
Many examples.
So give us one, Doctor.
Well, the former governor of Naija State, Aliyu Babangida, he got PhD.
Aliyu Babangida?
Yes.
Okay.
And he came to federal service. But he was made a director and became permanent secretary. Over when? When did he leave school? Already he left 50 officer before he left school. But he became a permanent secretary, substantive permanent secretary.
No, Doctor, let's put this in proper. What happened? He just came straight from the state and became director of AMSA.
Came from the state at low level. He went back to the state.
Okay.
And then they elevated him. They now present a fresh credential. It happened to even the Akata General at a point too.
Which one?
That fake or whatever it is. They all go to their states, the parties in the north. You go back to your state and get a higher position. And they say, what's your last position? You say you are a director. Once you show evidence of it, they can have to place you above where you came in. It's the common practice.
So that's how Babangida became PAMSEC in the...
Yes, that became PAMSEC. If he were to be non-PhD holder, he would be on level 10 officer by the time he became permanent secretary. But he went over now and became... Look, I have a roommate in NYC in 1975, Simon Mbaka. He left NYC, he became rector of College of Education Direct.
From NYC camp?
From NYC camp.
Rector of College of Education?
Yes. Even Mohamed Haruna was also, we were in Kaduna together in 76. He just graduated, they made him editor New Nigerian. It is the truth. Mohamed Haruna is in INEC now. It's an old man. But did he really go through? Yes.
Commissioner.
Yes. Did he go through level 8, level 9, level 10, level 12, level 13 that I went through to get to director in the civil service? They did not. This is the evil of federal character. The thing should be abolished. It's just to favor few people who are unpicked. You can't even perform because you are just catapulted. You see people who are more than you start looking down on them because you are permanent secretary. That's how it is. It's a very bad system. But when Nigeria is restructured, everybody will go. If you are using S75, even the president, he didn't attend WAEC. For goodness sake, he was recruited to the army. He didn't attend WAEC at all. He was recruited from class 4. Buhari himself. He didn't do WAEC. It was my friend Oluwade that argued the case in court that made him qualify for election, even as president. He was to be disqualified for not having school certificate. They said, once you have gone to a school that is equivalent to school cert. See the confusion we have in Nigeria. So it's the case of this is just a little symptom of the pervasive bastardization of everything. character, intellect, achievement does not count.
Doctor, let's switch to electoral reforms. The new INEC chair, well, I'm not sure we can still call him new anymore. A couple of days ago, he said openly that he cannot guarantee 100% success in the 2027 elections, but that at least they will do their level best. Is he already making excuses for, a mismanagement or a corruption of that process?
INEC chairman is being truthful obliquely that you don't hold him responsible. You can't hold him responsible now. When we did WAEC in 1969, they will put WAEC questions, give it to the principal. It will be prepared for almost 1 week. The principal is a man of integrity. Nobody will doubt him. Teachers then were returning officers in elections. They have ballot papers with them, and they will not do what is wrong because they are afraid of being prosecuted. But nowadays, INEC chairman is staying in Abuja under air conditioner. Doesn't know what's happening in Ikotekpene. Doesn't know what's happening in Odeomu. He doesn't know. If I were him, look, Nigeria of today, I cannot be INEC chairman. It will go in the way of Esua, Okonya, all of them are going to be the same because the society is bastardized. Election in Nigeria is a joke. We are not having election where the will of the people. Look, tomorrow we have election in FCT, chairman of proprietors of schools. It's more decent. The way we are doing the campaign is more decent than what we do nationally, because we are all proprietors, we are all equal, nobody is superior to the other. Whoever wins, he wins by the grace of each and every one of us. That is missing in Nigeria. We have election tomorrow. Proprietors of FCT, owners of schools. Transparent. Campaign have been robust in the last 1 week. Online. Everybody is saying what you can do. Because they trust that we, the electors, are the ones to decide who become the president of FCT, proprietors of schools. We are not doing that in Nigeria. It's rigging. First of all, the position has no remuneration. There is no salary. There is no car. You have to leave your school to be running for the affairs of proprietors. If it's like that, nobody will do or die now. They have to come around and say, me, I can't run. No. I don't have time to do it. No. You have to beg people to come and run for office when there is no SUV. You are not signing a contract of billions. But once you have oil money, and if you don't have oil money, you are borrowing money, and you are spending it. I pity the professor. He's going to be disgraced eventually, I'm very sure. Whether transmission, whether read time or not read time. Who is listening to him? Nobody listens to him at all. He will fail. He's a good man, but he will be made to fail.
He also released timetable for the general elections 2027. The first dates were February 2027. But then, Nigerians sort of, I think the elites, let me say it properly, protested that, it is going to clash with fasting. And because of that, INEC, that is meant to be an independent body, non-religious, non-partisan, all of that, dialed back and brought the dates back to early January. So, Doctor, the question is, how did we find ourselves in this situation where we cannot conduct elections devoid of religious sentiment? And does this weaken or strengthen our democracy?
They must well change swearing from May 29 to April. How can you elect people, change of government, January, February, March, April, May? I do.
Before being sworn in?
I do. In limbo.
5 months.
You leave Nigeria in limbo. So if President Tinubu, by chance, he loses, he will still be staying there for 5 months. Are we a serious country at all? If you want to move the date at all, why not move it to April? So that once you, of course, again, there will be litigation galore. You need 1 year to finish the litigation. So everything is just bursting in the seams. In fact, it's like you have an old cloth. You patch it here now, it will tear here. You patch it here, it will tear here. That's what we're having. Raise any issue, respond to it. there'll be a problem because we are not acting with all sincerity. Let's do it with all this election that is monetized, where you have to do 30 million to collect local government form, local government chairman form. You need 200 million now to do presidential form. It's a joke. It's a joke. So the INEC is just, okay, they made the law. So Muslims said they will not vote. In any case, they said they don't recognize Samukwe anyway. The northern Muslims said they should leave the place, that they will not vote if it's there. So what's he going to do? What is he going to do? Amukwetan. They said he should leave the post.
Why did they say that?
They said this, he wrote one article as a professor of law. Opinion. That opinion shows that he's biased, he cannot defend Muslim interests. So let him leave the position too, not just to change date. What's the end of the day? Let him leave position. But all these things, we are just joking with our life. We are just like children playing with toys. And affairs of the so-called 200 million. Where are we even 200 million? We are no more than 150 million. It's all lies. But toy with the lives of 150 million people. We are defenseless. We are not protected. We are being killed left, right, center. Everything appears to be a joke in this country. It's so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate.
The timetable released by INEC, both for campaigns, for party primaries, campaigns, and then the general election, the conduct of the elections itself. In your reading of it, does it seem to tilt in the favor of the ruling party as against giving the opposition a free and...
I've been watching the affairs, and I seem to agree with what the opposition is saying. Because almost the last 3 to 5, 6 months, APC have been doing electoral registration of members. Okay? They have the might. 31 governors, maybe 35 governors are now with APC. And they have the money of the state governors to deploy computers everywhere to register. But the opposition don't have the resources to do the same. But the opposition too, they were not observant. Did they not see this is electoral act that you now need to do electronic register of members to prevent cross-carpeting? They ought to have known. But overall, election is war. Anything is fair when you are fighting a war. If APCs have found a tool to defeat ADC, PP, everything, then the war front. You know, a civilized war is a war of fight to finish, do or die. Obasanjo just says so. It's do or die. In a do or die situation, who want to die? So APC want to live, and ADC must die. Anything you apply to achieve that goal seems fair until we change the rules and bring the temperature down in a civilized society. Where you just vote, you do how much do you need to vote? 10 minutes to vote. This last Friday, we had a tower sport in my school. Half of our students are Muslims. They were running. They competed fairly in my school. They were fasting. Did you not do entire sport last Friday in Abuja? Are they not Muslims? Are my staff not Muslims? We ran physically, despite fasting. What is there to vote? We're just behaving like children with candy. Whoever is saying that it's because of that now, you now change the date. Muslims, are they not like me or everybody? What is there to go and vote for 10 minutes? As I said, we are not a serious society.
Some critics have argued that the recently passed electoral act by Mr. President that says the primary data for voting still remains the form ECAT, that is the physical paper itself, while you can just still upload electronically, but that the primary data to be relied upon in the case of verification or adjudication in the courts still remains the form ECAT. Does that not leave a loophole for manipulation, for rigging?
No, it doesn't. It's only Supreme Court they have no brains. With respect, if you make a copy of any document and you photograph it or you scan it, that copy is permanent record. If you go ahead and now alter that
The
record,
original one.
it doesn't change the one that is hanging in the air. It doesn't.
Electronically.
It's only when Supreme Court says, that one in the electoral law is a viewing center. It is the one that you may have altered between the polling booth and that is valid. Directly, not even indirectly, Supreme Court has compromised the system. If I send you money, I'm waiting about saying so on television. If I send you money, 100,000 transfer, and I got a lot on my phone, you have not got it. Even if it's 2 days, will the money not remain the same? Will it reduce in transit? It's stored in the memory of the computer. It is to say, whatever you have scanned, that we all saw the poll agents, and you have scanned it, it says sent. That should be the primary evidence. Anything that you now bring with audition should not have been entertained. But Supreme Court chose to ignore reality of technology. Once you have scanned something, it's frozen in time. So if it's 10 years that you get it, you get it. And how much money is being lost on daily basis in Nigeria? From anywhere you transfer money, if it takes 1 day to get the money, it's to get the money. Will you say you don't believe the money that somebody sent to you on your phone? So INEC at the quarter will collate all. In fact, the electronic one is what should be authentic. Once you have scanned at the point of voting, whatever the computer brings, computer cannot alter the form on its own. Cannot. The one with individuals can be altered. I took time to explain this, so I'm a computer person. Once you photograph something or you scan it and you send, wherever forever, is stored digitally. It cannot be altered.
But doctor, the counter argument or narrative from the electoral management body, INEC, and people in government is that we live in this era of hacking, cyber criminals who can, hack into INEC systems or even any system for that matter and manipulate all these documents. Even, AI can be deployed. You're an AI specialist now. AI can be deployed that you cannot even verify which is original now from fake. How do you respond to this?
Look, anytime you open your mouth, you don't see it all, but microorganisms are entering your mouth. The air is filled with all kinds of things that can make you sick. When your system is overloaded with infection, then you have running nose. The body has defense mechanism. Will you now say you won't open your mouth again? It is in the society there are many cyber specialists that you deploy. It's now a profession, certified. In fact, if the most we could do is to now say, look, we are training 20,000 cyber experts. Anywhere there is a IRF, you deploy, in fact, there will be adult staff. Will you say you just open your to disease? Prevent the disease now. That is it. There is no cyberbullying. When you don't want to do anything, then you will not want to do it. How many will be hacked? We act where? In the computer environment, you make backup copies. As something is coming, you have multiple servers. You don't save, even on my own laptop now, I save on my hard disk, I save online. This last week, my laptop was infected by virus. I wiped the hard disk off, I downloaded the one stored on the cloud. Everything was still okay. Because the cloud one has a robust anti-virus protection. So Amazon said that time that their system was working. Their system was not hacked. That's where the storage is now. It's not stored in Amputan's laptop. It's stored on the cloud. That is used to. Okay, why are they not afraid that CBN is not hacked? Money that we do every day.
All the banks, the commercial banks.
No, you have money in your account. How many times has your money been taken away? Except somebody will just say scan. What percentage? CBN system of payment of all banks. Why are they not hacking it? Who has hacked CBN? It's not the same thing. In fact, they should have wanted all ATMs to be voting areas. You know, you can put a special software on the ATM machine. The card now, instead of a MasterCard, you have a voter's card. You put it inside the ATM machine and you vote. This is where we should be going. But the people in the National Assembly, they want to just continue to collect 30 million per month without working for it. So they are afraid of their shadows. IT compliance, there is no issue at all. If you are afraid, let them train more cyber security experts to create. It's like you are policemen now. You want to stay police against criminals.
Ethical hackers, that's what they're
Yeah, call ethical hackers and prevent. How can you surrender yourself to hacking? Armed robber on the way. You don't want to have more police. You say armed robbers are on the way. Respond to have more police to stop you from being attacked by armed robbers. I wonder why we live in this country is so dysfunctional.
Doctor, in your view, where does rigging, of election results, where does it happen? At the polling unit, at the collation center, or, like you alluded to, at the judiciary?
The rigging starts with getting even to be nominated by a party. The law says there is no independent candidature. So if I form a party now, this is payment season now. To give you ticket, they refused Adeleke of Osun State to go to APC. So he left PDP. They ran to Accord. Many of them will run to. So rigging starts from there. If I want to run now, if I don't bring money, no party will give me a ticket. That's rigging. I want to volunteer my service to my community, and the door is shut against me unless each party will not require for me to pay less than 10, 20, 30 million. Where will I get it? All I have is my intellect, and it's not enough. I need a godfather to pay for me, like we can pay for everybody in Rivers. Or I have to sell my house to run. If I sell my house, won't I get money back to buy another house? That's where rigging starts. And once I pay so much to get a ticket now, then it's do or die to make sure my venue is not lost. Because and all the people who ran, I know one of the candidates, ADC, who ran this FCT now, he spent so much money making posters, everything. His money has lost, and for no good reason. Not because there was any debate that we say, oh, Dr. M.O., you are the best person. Who knows all the people has won now? There is no debate, no CV, no nothing. That's rigging. Everything is based on rigging. The utmost is now to change figures. That's the ultimate. And if you lose, you bribe some justices 2-1. The way they brought in governor of Imo State, he came number 4. But they ruled that something happened. He became governor. He's enjoying the post up to today now. Is it not? That's rigging. That's it.
Now, with all of this, Doctor, what is the role of citizens, religious bodies, professional associations, civil society groups? Now that the law has been passed, the timetable has been set, what is the role of the general society? Should we just sit back? Because like you said, the election has been won. Should we just sit back, fold our arms, or do we mobilize? What should we do?
No. Election is a red herring. Election is of no use.
No, Doctor, I didn't get you. Election is a red herring.
The way we are
and it's
now,
of no use, yes.
The way we are now,
yes.
You are just chasing shadows. Wow. Because this time is already read against decency, read against civilized people.
Transparency.
All the noise they made National Assembly, voting or no voting, whatever. The people who are in charge, they are doing what they want. The real fight is for the soul of Nigeria to be decentralized, to remove all means for you to compete to get so more power. Once you have power, you can do anything. Once you don't remove that, we are just wasting time. We can continue shouting. We will continue shouting now. You have meeting, you are at press conference, you pay money on AIT, on channels, on Symfoni, on all that. You just talk. People, they just talk. They comment about me as small as I am. The Fapounda is just talking. He's harmless. He's just talking. He's just talking. Okay, so I'm just talking. Because I don't have more than my voice and my brain. I don't have money to challenge anybody. I can't deploy talks. So all of us are utterly powerless. We are fighting a wrong fight. We need to fight the right fight. The right fight is to reform the Nigerian state. And it can be done tomorrow. We need to change the configuration of election, change the configuration of recruitment, ethnic nationalities that have land.
We'll come to this, Doctor, but on this so that we'll round up, but we'll come to this shortly. As things stand now, what's your outlook on the 2027 election? What do you foresee? What's your forecast? And then the role of opposition parties, what can they do? Just a scenario play.
We now have 33 governors who are in one basket. All they need to do is to devote 2, 3, or 4 months FAC allocation to buy whoever is ready to be bought. You can't beat that. In fact, things are already got worse with this fight in Iran and US. Petrol price is going to go up. All costs will go up. Everybody has become suddenly broke. They are broken before, they have become broke now. If, due to the war in the Middle East, petrol goes to 1,000 above. Somebody who is sick, somebody who is not food, any money where it comes, in from the devil, he will take it. Voting, if you vote, collect 20,000, not 5,000 again. If you vote, collect 50,000. That's what's going to happen. Because the world now has become so terrible. Whoever has money, the governors have money. If they don't have, they can borrow more. They can settle wherever they want to settle. They will buy their way through. There's no penalty for it. Governor for your state kept 30 billion naira for almost 7 months. Money meant for people who are distressed, people whose houses were burnt in a bomb. He didn't give them the money. He kept it. He said he's waiting for something. So what happened to Makinde? Nothing. 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 That's the way we are. That's the way we are.
So your conclusion on the outcome of 2027? Straight
Might will be right.
Okay.
Whoever has might will win.
And resources?
Might is a resource. Might in terms of guns, in terms of talks, in terms of money. Once we are in the reign of might.
Okay, Doctor, some little issues. Last week in Edo State, at the home of former governor of Edo State and also former APC chair, Chief John Odigi Oyego. There were party ADC bigwigs were there, former governors, senators, and the rest of them. They were having a meeting. And then assailants came there and shot at the gate. Bullets, holes on the gate. Now, the spokesperson for the Obedient Movement said it's an assassination attempt. And some of the reactions from the public is, are we back to the days of political assassinations? Don't forget also, somebody like Peter Obi had said there were had made allegations of attempts against him, threatening text messages and all of that. But then the ruling party are saying, no, it's infighting in the ADC. What do you say to this? Quickly, Doctor.
Look, in 1962 or thereabouts, Robert Kennedy was shot in a campaign event. He was trying to run for president of the United States. He was shot. Attorney General, he was shot. So assassination is not a big deal when you have contesting powers that are not civilized. The reign of whoever it was, the governor of Edo, I can't pronounce his name. It's just a village, a village mentality. And he's sincere in what he's doing, I can't fault him. He was put there, catapulted by Oshomole. And he's doing the bidding, just like Adedibu in Ibadan those days. So anything, Adedibu was able to do anything in Ibadan those days. Oshomole can do the same thing too. So how can Oyegun's house is next to government house from what I heard? Just if he shouts, even that street ought to have been condoned up routinely, if they are nothing. I mean, this same street government house, how come that 30 people was able to bring convoys of vehicles? So don't let us, okay, we're on here to talk about this. It's just symptomatic of the way we are. Might is right. Once you have power of the state, you can do anything. The very bad thing is for people to be insulting our intelligence, to say it's intra-party activities and all that. Whoever it is, Afegbo and that argues like that. The man sometimes he insults intellect people. I wonder who he is, this Afegbo man. He says things that I wonder whether. I want to respect him as an individual, but his views are totally pedestrian. pedestrian. It's not valid. If any of them could have been shot, and if Obi was shot, what will happen? Nothing. But like he was shot, what happened in this country?
Sitting Attorney General.
Yes. So if Obi was shot, so what will happen? They will say, oh, they will condemn it, a dastardly act, and we will bring the people to book. We will do this, we will do that. Is that not to be? Would that not be all? That will be all. Will anybody resign because of it? Will IG leave his desk? Will the governor leave his position? Anybody who dies just dies. That's just the truth. If Bolege could die, Shula Adedeji could die. The man in Rivers also died. Yes, yeah. So people are dead. If you are shot by police, you are shot. That's where we are. America now, just 4 soldiers died. They are having funeral in America. Yesterday, 4 persons died in this war now. The way the government values their citizens. Is that the way we are in Nigeria? Peter Obi better protect himself and not just die in vain. That's what I can advise him. If he dies, nothing will happen. There will be little riot there and there, and that will be the end.
There's something I need to talk about on this issue. The governor, Monday Okpebholo, had said sometime last year, when the same thing happened, although there were no gunshot there, that all that issue, if you were going to come, you should give him advance notice and take permission from him. Is that part of our ground norm, the constitution, that before Dr. Fapounda goes to Osun State or Oyo State or Katsina State, you need to call the governor, take permission before you? Is that what is prevailing in our society?
You are merely asking me a leading question. You know the answer.
No, sir, you need to clarify for the public.
No, the public, look, we have freedom of movement, freedom of association in the country. If he's driving through Benin, he's free to drive through, unless he himself came with us. Then what is the place of the governor? There is a police commissioner in the state, there is DPO everywhere. If Obi comes with talks, the talks should be arrested, and it should not be faced with talks either. Why must he greet governor of the state? They don't belong to the same political party now. For what reason? There is no need to go to but everybody's engaged in an overreach conduct. And to him, as I said, the man believes he's doing what is right, like Adedibu. He's working to the script of Oshiomhole in Edo State. Oshiomhole put him there through election that was queried and questioned up till now. And how can that man be in charge of Edo State with all the education in Edo State who cannot pronounce GCFR? That's what we have.
Doctor, I am aware of your leading role in Afenifere. You are director of research Afenifere. And then I know you are seriously involved in this restructuring exercise campaign and all that. I know you are distributing some letters to the president, Senate president, speaker, governors. Tell us 2 minutes. Tell us just a summary of what this is all about.
As I've been saying this, we need to change course in Nigeria. We're on the wrong course. President Tinubu said he was interested in economics when Petros went to visit him some time ago. That he's not interested in politics. We are now trying to draw his attention that the silver bullet to cure Nigerian problems is political restructuring. And Afenifere, for which I'm director of research, unified, no faction. Afenifere, Lekki, Adebanjo, Afenifere, Papa of Akure, Senator Opomu, all of us, we are united now on this single cause that Nigeria ought to be restructured. All persons who want should be given the space to exercise the autonomy of governance. In our own mind, we want to withdraw from under the 1999 Constitution. We are not going to use force. We are not going to declare secession. All we are saying through civilized reasoning is that we want to be enabled to be taken out of the umbrella of 1999 Constitution. We want to have our own subsidiary constitution. We have drafted what it is, how we want to govern ourselves in Yoruba land. We want to be given that liberty to have that autonomy. What we have in Nigeria now is like you have a street, no fence, everybody is living. But since there's so much armed robbery everywhere, we want to fence our own area and put a gate there. If you are coming, you want to know where you are coming from. Let everybody be allowed to do their own fencing too. so that they can run their own affairs the way they like. So we have put a document together now. It's been delivered to the Senate President, to the Speaker House of Reps, to the Chief Justice, because 3 arms of government, they need to work in concert to agree for 3 things. We want them to agree that there should be subsidiary constitution separate from 1999 constitution. Simple. So that we can have our own subsidiary constitution. People have been talking about 63 constitution. No. What you want is 1954 Little T constitution that gave the regions the freedom to do what they want in their own territory.
That's number 2, sir. What's the second?
Number 2, 68 items of the exclusive list, we want it to be decentralized so that schools, hospitals, roads, you don't come to Abuja to do roads. The third one we're asking for is to consult to have referendum modality. That's how Cameroon, West Cameroon move away. Sadana province moved to Nigeria. Ask the people. So we, the elites of Yoruba land, are saying, this is what we want. Allow us to ask the people.
Now, Doctor, let me ask this question.
Referendum.
Let me ask this question. I've heard you, and I'm sure Nigerians are listening. But what you're saying, even in your oral delivery now, is it not a recipe for anarchy? Because in the East, of course, the East has been agitating for, secession.
Yeah, TV.
Hold on, sir. The East has been going on about this for long. Are you not, number one question, are you not going to plunge the Yoruba, enclave, Southwest, into what is going on in the South? But the important question for me actually is, what about the Middle Belt Forum? The Arewa, even though they don't have, they just have Arewa for Northeast and Northwest. But this entire issue about restructuring, devolution, is it not just a recipe for anarchy?
No. Because viewers should be aware. There are so many things happening in Nigeria, people don't know. There's a body called the Rebirth Group. They've held 6 zonal town hall meetings. The last one is going on in Jos as we are talking now. Most of the people in the Middle Belt are in Jos to discuss how they want to run their own affairs. The document we have produced for Yoruba land, we have circulated it to others. We want them to copy the same. In Yoruba land, we have 6 states, but it will be 8 states because Yoruba of Kogi, Yoruba of Kwara, they are Yorubas. But we are not. Ask them. Do they want to stay in Kwara? They want to stay in Kogi? We ask them. Once you have referendum, you ask them. It's voluntary. It's not by force. We want Shekuris. If they agree, they move. They don't, they stay. Then in Yoruba land, we will do a referendum to find out. We have 26 entities in Yoruba land. Osun, Ogun, they are artificial creations. Ijesha is Ijesha. Oyo is Oyo, Ibadan is Ibadan, Egba is Egba, Ilaje is Ilaje. Is it not true? Ekiti is Ekiti. Each of these ones have their own territory. And they have different dialects apart from the common Yoruba. Actually, we should be 26 units, entities in Yoruba land. And we're going to organize along that way in a federation where each Ijesha man is Ijesha man in his own territory. Ekiti man is Ekiti woman in his own territory. Egba is Egba. Ijebu states, they are free to create Ijebu, which they want. Don't constrict people to just be in prison. You padlock them, no. Even in Yoruba land, we are going to free ourselves. Ijeshas will meet with Ijebu. There will be Ijebu Jesha. Freely, not constricted. And Ijeshas are not part of Osun. Ijeshas are different from the rest of Osun. It's a fact. We are going to have that conversation in Yoruba land. It has started now.
Let me ask you these 2 questions as we round up finally on these 2 questions. What is your hope? What gives you hope or confidence that this letter and all these, processes, what gives you confidence that it will receive positive feedback from the powers that...
You are not expect, you see, I'm a Christian. The wall of Jericho in the Bible did not just fall down. People have to come out to say they danced around the wall several times, making loud noise. From today, the noise has begun. Because letters are going to be delivered today to this part that we will not go to keep quiet. We're going to... Good things don't come easy. Some people are benefiting from where we are now. They will not give up. The governor want to be second term, but they will serve their term, but no more new term for any governor again. So I'm appealing to this medium. We're going to do more. We're going to have series of symposium across the southwest for the next 3 to 6 months. And it's not that restructuring will be just switch on the light. No, it will take 2-3 years. We've drafted our own constitution now, but it's not yet accepted by the people. We have to give it out. Let the Igbo do them. Let the judge do them. Let me do better. Agree. It's something that we are consulting. Don't forget that Afenifere is now the chairman of the Southern Middle Belt Leadership Forum.
Final question, Doctor. I had the president of the Middle Belt Forum here, Dr. Opogu Beatrice.
Yeah.
He was sitting right here last week.
Yeah.
The summary of everything he said, that the problems that Nigeria is facing is because of the 1999 constitution, which in his own words is a Sharia constitution. True. He said the word Sharia is mentioned something times, Islam is mentioned this time. And I argued with him stridently that, to my mind, the major problem of this country can be reduced to misgovernance, wicked, ungodly governance. Do you agree with him or with me? Who do you agree with?
No, there's a tool. If you are doing something wrong, you have a tool. You can use pen to steal. You can use gun to kill. Is it not? You need a tool to do anything. Sharia and religion is a tool that aids people who want to misgovern the country. They will say, the same way the Fulani took over the Hausa land. They say, we are more religious, we are more Islamic than you. You are infidels, we can conquer you. So any tool is available to misgovern if you are not fair-minded and you are not civilized. Dr. Pogu is correct. Whoever wants to do Sharia, they are free now. Yorubas have come out to say, we don't want Sharia. We are Muslim and family. We live together. Political Sharia, we don't want. We don't want. And it's clear. But the bottom line is that freedom of thought, freedom of behavior, freedom of association, let decentralize Nigeria. We understand Nigerian state. Nigeria is a good symbol, but let everybody fence his own area. You live in your house now. I don't know what you ate this morning. I live in my house. You don't know what I ate, what I've not eaten at all. But we are both looking good here. That's when Nigeria comes. We'll meet in Abuja, and each area will be treated equally, and we'll be friends. In our constitution now, there's reciprocity clause. If you are living in Yoruba land, fine. Your people, where do they give Yoruba the same rights as you're asking? If you have protocol agreement, fine. Everything discussion, but we are just straitjacketed by 1999. We are in prison. We are emasculated. We are shackled. Because some Yorubas are also benefiting from oil money and borrowed funds to run Abuja. We are saying, we don't want money from oil again. We don't want it. We will live without oil money. I know that for sure. We shall live.
Some will argue, Doctor, that they don't practice Sharia in the southern part. And misgovernance, corruption, bad leadership is rampant in the southern part.
The umbrella of 1999 allows you. The umbrella, when we cut our own umbrella out, yes, we'll do things differently. Once things are different, somebody like me now can run in Ijesha land. I'm Ijesha. People will know my Fapounda name. Yes. On that basis, I will stay in Abuja, they come and call me. And they say, I don't want. They have to come and call me because they know what I'm able to do. I will not start spending money now to run for Senate in Yoruba. No. They will come and call me. Last year, they called me to my president of Elisha Grammar School, old student. I said, Abuja is too far. I don't want to. Because they are looking for good candidates. When that regime comes, we will be outside Nigeria. 1999 constitution. We will have our own. It's drafted. It's ready. But we have to educate the Yorubas to see the merit too. Because some people, they don't know what they want. That is it. That is it.